Hello everybody. Right, so just a little quick update of what's been going on in the OctoFarm world. So basically I'm coming up for another release soon. Me wanting to stick to a monthly release schedule. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. It's hard to stick to that monthly release schedule, but I'm a bit behind this time because after the last release I only took 2 weeks off. But anyway, right, so most of the work's been done on Printer Manager. As you can see here, it should look a hell of a lot different than it did before. So, basic stuff, we'll start up here and then work my way across. So, Administrator Sean now is it's over up in this little corner. Oh, where it was before. So basically we have add, edit, import, export, delete. This is your onboarding, offboarding and updating of OctoFarm. So all of your Octoprint instances will be added, removed and edited here. So the add button now will do the same thing it did before. I've got rid of those crappy content editable fields, so anybody not on Firefox, anybody on Firefox can now actually add printers, and anybody copying and pasting URLs from up here into here will get no HTML with it, like the old implementation wanted to do. So that's the same as before. We actually have a little description now, so it'll give you a little example, or a little like what it is. So like for Octoprint 1.4.1 plus, the global API key doesn't work, as a lot of people found out. But yeah, we've got a delete and we've got a save all button as well. So that tried to save that instance. Obviously there's none there to save. I'll refresh that button just to hide the fact that didn't enable the delete button again. That's add, edit. Edit will bring up a full printer list that you can go down with your general connection settings to OctoFarm. This isn't some like global edit everything, because Jesus Christ, that would be horrible and something I might actually do someday. But at the minute, yeah, so you edit your printer, so I want to change that to Mr. Cool Printer and press action. It will update that to Mr. Cool Awesome Printer for you. As you saw there, it rescanned. It will only rescan what you edit. So if I put that to printer 1, in fact we'll call that printer Bob. Printer 1's a bit boring. So that's Bob Saget and that's Steve McQueen. So if we action that, you will see, there we go. It's just updated these two printers and they're the only ones that got the scan. So you won't have to do massive farm resets, which it was like that before, but not this specific section, not this specific way, not this, I don't know, yeah. I can't remember, it's been a long time for me since I released that last version. I forget what's on them. I'm sure it did that before, but yeah, anyway, it definitely does it now. Delete, you just select a bank of printers and get rid of them. Now, going forward, more changes afoot. Before, I never really took note of the printer ID in the database, and if I wanted to link anything up, I would link it to your printer name, which is problematic because if you change your name, you lose the links. But we also have the fact that OctoFarm and myself haven't been that great at managing the database, and I do get the odd user who edits their printer and completely messes it up, having to restart the database, which should have gone in this version. If it hasn't, I'm going to be annoyed, but I've put a lot of work around editing printers and restarting the printer connection and the service and everything else in the back end. So all those issues should now be gone. So moving forward, I will be taking a lot more, I will be utilising that ID a hell of a lot more. So if you delete your printer from the database and you've got a set of history, you'll lose the link, basically. I will be putting other versions, I'll be putting backup stuff in place for that. So like, if, say for example, the history gets rewrote, which I'm planning to do, which you might lose your old history, then I will write a migration script for the old database to pull the information into the new database. And then if I can't match the printer, you will have to do that manually, or just leave it if you're not bothered. But yeah, that will give me a hell of a lot more hooks, basically, to get in there and link stuff up. Like, people want statistics and I can't build them with the current implementation, so yeah, that's just something to be aware of. Before, OctoFarm didn't give a flying crap at all. You could literally just be like, yeah, delete my printer, re-add it, and as long as it's got the same name, you'll find it. But that, yeah, just something to be aware of. Currently, and it will be current for this version 2 when it's released, it's not that big of a deal, but it will be. So, yeah. For example, when you go to delete a printer, there'll be a check in place and it will tell you, it will say, look, you've got history, you've got statistics, do you want to wipe it or would you like to keep it? But yeah, that's it for management. That should be a hell of a lot better than the previous implementations. What's next? Right, so the printer section. Right, this is basically going to be a load of bulk actions on your printer. So we can connect, set them all up. We can disconnect them all. We can do power actions, and we can do the age-old resync. I'm going to just resync 100 printers, because I can. But yeah, so connect. We can go down here. We will be able to filter all these. No, that does work. Idle is technically disconnected. No. So, something broke in my filters. But yeah, so we'll come down here, select all these, press action, and it will file off a connect. So they say it's not in disconnected state, so it's skipping. So it will only attempt to connect to things that are disconnected. And it will also that will skip any active prints, so you don't have to worry about that. It will also default back to these here, your preferred port settings. Now you can set them up on OctoPrint or you can set them up here. Just click save if you change them here. All works, and I believe if these don't detect an auto, which one was it? That one. So if we look at this one, right, I've got that one set to auto as a default setting, and that one has no preference. So the connect button up here and this quick disconnect and quick connect button is there. So that one has errored because it's auto and there's no printer attached. these are all virtual printers, and I haven't set virtual printer up on that, so that's gone to auto strike to connect, auto failed, which errors your printer. And then these just skip basically, because it'll tell you that there's no connection options available, or it's just magically disappeared offline just as you went to click it. Disconnect is the same, it will skip active printers and it will only try and disconnect printers that are in the connected state. So like these are all disconnected, so if I run down there, try and disconnect these, it's not in an idle state, so it won't disconnect them. Power buttons, pretty much the same. I've just updated a load of instances. I need to restart OctoPrint on those instances. Done. It'll fire off your restart commands to them all. Eventually I do want to add in these power on and off as well, so you can power on a bank of printers, power off a bank of printers. What else? Right, next. These two. Right, so I haven't finished everything yet, so I've disabled some of the stuff, but I can show you what's coming with plugins. So if I wanted, so say let's say I've just got a new set of printers on my farm and they don't have any plugins yet, so we want to install some plugins. So if I go cost estimation, right, so cost estimation is there, and Cura thumbnails for example. Yeah, you will have search at the top. Don't worry, I've just not coded that yet. I wouldn't make anybody scroll through all these because OctoPrint has a lot of plugins. So you press OK, pulls up this little button here, which I might change into a progress bar or something. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it'll run down each plugin, tell you it's installed, tell you which plugin it's installing. This is all client side, so do not navigate away from this screen or it will stop. In the future though, that's all getting pushed back to the server, so yeah, you'll be able to fire actions and navigate away from the screen, but for now. So once that's done, we restart those instances. Brilliant. I want to restart. There you go. It had a bit of an issue with printer 2 for some reason. I'm not sure why. Oh, printer 2 has no settings set up for that. I forgot I was testing that, but that's why printer 2 didn't restart, because it has no settings input. But yeah, that's it. That will work the same for uninstall, enable and disable plugins. The only slight difference with these is it will just give you a list of installed plugins. So it will collate your farm's plugins and then it will just remove any duplicates. So you'll get that active plugin list when you click these buttons, well, when you've selected your printers after clicking these buttons, and then you'll be able to uninstall, enable and disable a set of plugins across your entire farm in a single click. Or 5 clicks. This one here, update plugins, right, that one will only appear when you have these here, plugin update available. So they will act similar to the save and delete buttons, so that is basically a single, so that will update that instance, and this will just run through and click all those buttons for you and update them all. That's the same for update available with OctoPrint, which now every printer will scan, it will check to see if there's updates available. Obviously that is reliant on OctoPrint service, and if you're anything like me with 100 instances running, you will probably rarely ever see these because you'll hit the GitHub limit straight away. Thankfully, Gina has put some new stuff in the new version so we can put credentials in and increase our limits. But basically, yeah, it will update your instances. That will all happen from OctoPrint, and you'll get the restart all instances, because once these are clicked, it keeps track of all your printers, so your restart button will only restart the printers that need to be restarted. There will be a force check for updates, but again, that uses OctoPrint, so if you're limited by the GitHub polling thing, my job. If you are limited by the GitHub poll, then that, sadly, will still be an issue, even if I force check the updates, because the force checking does the same thing and uses GitHub, so that limit is annoying, although very understandable. So yeah, you'll be able to force check your updates, and they will then pop up down there when you see them, so you'll know which instances need to be updated. One thing that will be getting changed in the future, and I'm not sure which version yet, but these will become basically notifications, and it's the same with one that pops up here. Oh God, pardon me. It's the same with one that pops up here to warn you of any API stuff. I'm going to be putting a little notification thing up here, similar to Facebook sort of crap, where you've got a little ticker like this, and you can just click it and pull it down, and there will be user-based notifications as well. So the administrators will be able to say, this user gets plugin notifications, this user gets that sort of thing, so you're not filling everybody with stuff that they don't need. Permissions is still quite a bit off yet, but yeah, for that, that's what I'm going to do for that. And then you'll also see here a backup and restore. This will use OctoPrint's functionality, so it's not going to SSH in and make an image of your device or anything fancy like that. And when it does create the .zip backup, it will download it onto your server and keep it linked to Bob Saget. So when you click backup and restore, these will all be automatic. So if you have, I don't know, let's say you've just set up OctoPrint on something after it died and you can't be bothered with a wizard, I don't even know if that activates it. Actually, you might have to run through the wizard. I will have to check on that. But yeah, basically, you'll be able to make a backup and restore it. You know, we all know what backup and restore does. It's just using OctoPrint stuff. It will save the .zip, save it to printer IDs. It will save it to the printer IDs, as I was on about with the delete. That's why. So like you could lose all of your backups for that printer if you actually removed it going forward. But yeah, it will keep the backup and you can choose to keep up to 5. I don't know, I haven't really thought yet of what I want to do for that, but yeah, that's about it. That's the new printer manager. So we've got these new buttons here. Let me click that one. So this is printer settings. I've got, again, completely ripped out the content editable fields. So if you don't know what a content editable field is, it's these awful things which have nothing really, no like stripping of HTML tags or out like that. And even though I wrote my own implementation of stripping HTML tags, it obviously wasn't good enough because still some people managed to paste HTML tags. So they've all gone completely. Just got nice little text input boxes, proper ones. If we open up this is a new little button. This is the logs. So it will pull all of OctoFarm's logs for you. So if you're having trouble with OctoFarm and this little ticker's ticking up too fast, you can come here and double check what's gone on. So we can see here Connection was lost, setting up the connection. Lost again for whatever reason. That might be me pressing resync a couple of times. It or whatever I did 7 minutes ago. You'll get printer errors, so this is anything triggered by OctoPrint's error event. So as you can see, that was where it was trying to connect with Auto and failed. Printer temperature, I've not actually had that printer on, is this one on? There, so printer temperature, we get a nice little rundown. Well, it's basically about an hour's history of your printer. It does keep more records than that, and I will be putting date selectors at the top to enhance that feature in the future. Plugin logs, this is just what OctoFarm detects while it's online, and it does not save them or anything else, because you can get the majority of this out of OctoPrint's actual logs. All this does, because I get alerted from the plugin manager when the WebSocket's active, will check. So you can see here what is going on whenever it tries to install stuff. So that is running that command. Yeah, and then we have OctoPrint's logs. So what this will do is download the log file for whatever date. Work. There's nothing in these logs. That's why it's not grabbing them, I think. Oh, that's broke. One or the other. Is it broke? Did I break it? I broke it. Ooh, cannot read blob. Ooh! You didn't see that! Right, so yeah, that'll be working better. I just need to obviously give it a bit more testing for I wonder why it's doing that actually, because it shouldn't really care. Oh, it's working. So there's something on the printer. It is working. Something specific with that printer. But yeah, you can come here, check all your logs, check your temperature history, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's it for Printer Manager. I'm going to be working on getting these updated, and then I'll be pushing a release. Now, these two buttons you might have noticed here. So one for the individual printer statistics and another one for the maintenance setup. So these are going to be, so we're going to have a modal for printer statistics. It's just going to be a card. It's just going to show all your cool little statistics, utilization, anything that I can collect from OctoFarm. But obviously I need to put the ID work in before we start to do that, and that is the same for maintenance logs as well. So those sadly will be waiting till the next version, even though I promised my Patreons this like two releases ago. I'm so sorry. I am really sorry. I wanted to get these in, but I haven't had a chance, basically, because I realised the amount of work I had to redo. So then I was like, damn it. I guess just this is how it is, isn't it? I'm always learning with coding, so like I do something someday and then I come back and I look at it and I'm like, why did you code it like that? Why? I gather anybody else who does coding will understand that, but I've only been doing it a year, so yeah. Everything else is pretty much the same. That's all linked back up. Right, the views. So where's Printer One gone? I wanted to show the new thumbnail. Oh, I've got disconnected on, hide disconnected on. Yeah, so now thumbnails changed a little bit for the panel view because it will detect now whether you've got your camera enabled. You can update that in OctoFarm if you want. You can also update it in OctoPrint, but just make sure to do a resync. If the camera's enabled, it will try and show the URL of the camera URL, which, if it's blank, it will then try and show the thumbnail. If the camera's disabled, it will try and show the thumbnail, and if not, it won't load. So you'll get it like these, where they're offline. I've also updated this, so if we... Oh my god! What the fucking hell have I done to this? I've not even touched... That's the weird thing, I've not even touched this. And now there's a new error. Let's start that one. So I'll start that printing. You can see we've now got a new format for the print time. It will show print time elapsed, the expected time, estimated arrival, and print time remaining. That is now formatted on, well, exactly the same on every view. Why does that do that? What the hell have I broke on that? Anyway, right. So we'll see here that is on exactly the same on the list view, and the camera view has had some slight changes, so I've got rid of most of the stats, but you can now hover over and bring up the full stats if you want to check. And don't worry about these buttons, they're still activated and clickable, although I might just bring them on top so it doesn't look like they aren't. But yeah, that's about it. I'm quite excited to get this release out there. Obviously I'm that excited I keep forgetting to write stuff and creating new bugs, but yeah, hopefully it will be about a week or two, so I will probably, I don't know actually. I am, however, going to start writing a OctoFarm blog, so I don't have to do these videos. And each release, I'll just blog out all the notable changes that you have to care about, because I know people don't like reading changelogs. I don't like writing changelogs. So yeah. There'll still be a changelog. I'm not saying there that I don't like changelogs, so I'm not writing a changelog. But yeah, this is all coming in the future. Yeah, literally about a week or two. I'm hoping to get this release out. Anybody is welcome to grab the development version and help me do bug fixing. If you do that, please don't leave me a GitHub issue. Come on to the Discord and go to development discussion or development, well, go to development testing and let me know, because 9 times out of 10 I'll get it fixed within a day or two, whatever it is. Like, I try to keep the development version being able to be used on a live farm. Obviously some stuff does break every now and again, so you've just got to be aware of that, but I always update there if I destroy stuff on the development version, because it does happen quite a lot. But yeah, so that's it. That's what's coming for 1.1.6. Yeah, I'll leave you all to your whatever else you're doing during lockdown. Rock on. Peace, have fun, toodaloo, bye, tatty, bye.